youth is the one that has the power to change, man. And if we don't prepare youth now, they are gonna be the ones in the future handling our political affairs. So they must be aware of the situation. They can't be blind, and they have to do something. But in order to do something, they need to be prepared. They need to know what's going on. And the only way of knowing what's going on is when they go beyond the subject they see at school or college, and that's what we give them.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is now 60 years old. This anniversary was celebrated last week in Paris at the UNESCO's headquarters during the annual DPI NGO conference, where no more than 1,500 organizations were invited, representing 80 countries. While key speakers were talking during the opening ceremony about the declaration and its future, we decided to focus on young people to know the reason of their involvement. The president of the conference is also young. She is just 26 but has been involved since she was 14.
I started out having the opportunity to work with NGOs at a very young age. So not as an intern, but as a volunteer representing organizations that didn't have representation at the UN. And as young people, we're often still put on the side or dismissed. And I don't think you need to necessarily fight your way in, but understanding what it takes and having a deep compassion for people who are often excluded.
So we decided to meet all those young people from all around the world. Some of them were speakers, like this survivor of the genocide in Rwanda. There were also participants who came to learn more about other people and discover new practices.
Because I'm very interested in the topic of human rights that I think really touch each one of us, and we can really exploit all the documents and all the things we hear here to get involved in our all-day life and in my job as well particularly.
And I'm here as a student reporter. It's giving me the chance to get a bigger knowledge about the UN, get some experience. That's about it.
On Thursday, we met someone from Dominican Republic who tries to promote understanding with his neighbor in Haiti.
We, as youth, through education, through initiatives, through different programs, are trying to change people's minds in order to have a better understanding of each culture. How do we do that? Creating space for dialogues. How? Well, different forums, different medical campaigns, different lectures. There are several ways of doing it, but the main goal is basically two things: to change people's mind and to raise awareness on the work that the UN is doing.
The same day, we also went to a youth caucus where participants were thinking about making people more involved in actions.
And I think something that needs to be changed is that human rights are everywhere. I mean, everything that you get to do, going to university, going to study, and what you get to say, you know, everything like that is human rights. And if you were to take it away, people would notice. And they would raise a huge stink about it. But what it really, you know, but it's not really noticed, oh, that was my human right. That was my right, you know, that, you know, and a lot of people don't even know that there is a UDHR. And we're missing it, you know, and I think that it's really important to remind people that human rights are part of everything you do. So it doesn't have to be your main goal to, you know, be an advocate for someone else. It can simply be protecting your own rights within your own country, your own community, and it happens on every level.
The last day we try to know what will participants remember from the conference.
The most important thing you can do is teach a man to fish, and it comes from a larger proverb that says you can give a man a fish, but if you teach him to fish, then for the rest of his life he's taken care of. And I've heard that so many times, but it carried a special meaning to hear it from someone who's from Sudan, which is the place that right now is under siege, and there's genocide going on in Darfur. And just hearing that proverb from him is so moving, and hearing his hopefulness was so empowering, and just made me feel like I was meant to be there. It was a really wonderful, wonderful feeling.
At the same time, we found 2 young participants discussing about human rights and freedoms.
Yeah, you could totally organize something.
Quite later, during the opening ceremony, Ingrid Betancourt gave a speech.
Nous pouvons tous, sous la pression d'un groupe, dans un moment donné de notre vie, être des rivaux pour d'autres êtres humains.
The message delivered was pretty clear. The work accomplished by NGOs, as well as the need to struggle for human rights, is essential, today more than ever.